Welcome back to That Track channel. We're out here at Central Alberta Raceways for Western Canada's biggest no prep event, the No Prep 8. And I'm here with my partner, Dylan. Dylan, how are you doing today?
Good, buddy. How are you?
Good. Are you ready for today's excitement?
Man, there's some bad cars in that pit lane right now. I can't wait.
Yeah, today's going to be absolutely epic. We're going to bring you guys all the action today, covering both ends of whatever we can, really. But right now, we got to be a little bit quiet. Driver meeting going on behind us. But yeah, let's go check out that action. Guys, festivities are underway here at Central Alberta Raceway. We got Sheldon Root from Winnipeg, Manitoba pulling up to the line with his Acadian. And these guys are just doing test hits this morning just to try to get these cars dialed in before competition starts. Now this car, I believe, is around 1,700 wheel horsepower. It's a monster. It went 4 seconds in Sick Week down the States, I believe. So let's see how it goes down here in Alberta. Here we go, guys. Chris Houston pulling up to the line here with an LS Turbo Fox body. Probably somewhere in the neighborhood around 1,500 wheel. Getting it down here for a test pass right now. Alright guys, we got a 4-eye Fox body pulling up for a test pass. This thing looks pretty wild. Wild would be the appropriate term. Now the one thing you guys don't get at home while you're watching these videos is you don't get the smells, the fuel, the tires, all of that.
We're just finishing up testing here, as you can see behind me. We got chip draw in about 10 minutes, and we're going to see if anybody calls anybody out. There's a couple bounties out there. Let's see what happens. Okay guys, chip draw's underway. We got an unlimited class coming up first. We got about 6 cars. We after that biggest event of the day, we got small tire, about 20 cars. So we're gonna see what happens.
Oh, you're out the big mouth with the red box body. Dan, where are you? Dan, call that Dan.
Dan, are you taking that call out or you want to draw from the bucket?
I'll take it.
All right. Okay, so first pair.
There you go, guys. Call out for small tire class. All right, guys, we got 19 drivers in the Gangster class here doing chip draw right now. Canada's Most Wanted right there.
We got one more.
Who's Gangster didn't draw?
Hi, I'm Kurt Thompson, Canada's Most Wanted. Today we're at Central Alberta Raceways competing in no prep 8 in the Gangsta class. I'm the 2-time defending champion of this event, so if anyone thinks they're taking this from me, think again.
All right, guys, round 1 of unlimited class is here. Let's see who's getting knocked out. Camaro, no traction, neither car no traction. Right lane looks like it's moving. All right, guys. Looks like we got some Firebirds coming along. Just waiting for the track to be cleared off here. Car's a little slow getting off the track down the far end. Here we go. First time ball split. Here we go. White Firebird out of line. All right, guys, we got a Falcon pulling up, and I believe that's a satellite. It's on a satellite, big blower car. Let's see how this round goes right now. And the Plymouth satellite looks like going through. All right, guys, the class that everyone's been waiting for, the Gangster class, is finally here. 19 cars. We got a call out right at the start here. We got Tony Lee in the blue C5 Mustang or Corvette. Called out this red, gorgeous Mustang over here. That car was running Miles of Mayhem this past weekend. It was one of the fastest cars out on the field. So let's see how this goes down. Now, Tony was having a bit of trans brake problems. Hopefully he's got it figured out. The Mustang's moving on. The Mustang's way out.
Hey, so my name's Chris Houston. I own the Little Merm, or Little Mermaid, what do you call it? X275 car. Out from Lethbridge, Alberta. Just came up here to Central Alberta Raceways to put on a show and see if we can win. So this is a 325 cube LS stock block. Makes about 1500 horsepower. True North 88 turbo. They went on board and put that on there and working awesome. Power glide transmission. Just stock GM junk mostly. Last year I wasn't here, I just spectated, and then Kurt took home 2nd year in a row, so I figured I might as well drag my junk out here and put him on the trailer and see what it's like to be a spectator for once.
All right, guys, we got the Little Mermaid coming up to the line right now. He's drawn a older Camaro here. Now this Mustang is turbo LS powered, making somewhere around the vicinity of 1500 horsepower. And this is one of the cars to watch out for in this Gangster class. Looks like there's starting issues here with this Camaro on the line. do they automatic win that or no? Yeah? Well guys, looks like the Camaro's not going through. Single pass here right now. So Chris Houston moving on. All right guys, next round we have this Ford F-150 regular cab and this big. Now this is the Performance Plus Mustang. They're one of the sponsors of today's event. Let's see if they can go through the round. The Mustang's moving on, one hell of a run. All right guys, we got a Fox body pulling up to the line right now here with a big boosted Camaro. Let's see this go on. All right guys, who's gonna be Camaro or Mustang? Let's find out. Mustang's going on. That was one hell of a run though. Guys, we're just doing a little bit of track cleanup here. Last car, I guess, dropped some fluid here. Want to make sure it's nice and safe for the drivers. Up next, we got Sheldon Root out of Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, my hometown, with his beautiful Acadian. This car's around 1,700 wheel horsepower, maybe a little bit more. And he's up against a Mercury Marquis. Let's see it.
The big dragger.
Sheldon, you just shot a rock in my mouth.
We'll also roll out both.
Well, guys, obviously I'm rooting for hometown favorite here, Sheldon Root. Well, my hometown favorite. Let's see if Sheldon can take on this Mercury Marquis wagon right now. All right, guys, we got Team Manitoba back at it again. We got the girlfriend here being driven by Trevor Mulder, and he's up against a Buick Skylark. Let's see this one.
Hi, my name's Trevor Mulder. I'm the driver of the Headless Horseman racing car named the Girlfriend. Today we're in Alberta at No Prep 8 running in the Gangster class. The car is 427 LSX powered, precision turbo, and we're coming for the #1 spot.
Now this car here as well, LSX powered, big, massive turbo, probably somewhere in the 1,700 wheel horsepower mark. So that Buick Skylark looks like an NA nitrous car. Let's see who's moving on here. Team Manitoba moving on. There we go, guys. This looks like a single pass. Not quite sure what happened there because I believe the bye Kurt Thompson had. But let's see how it goes anyways. I just listened to the announcer chat, and I believe they're saying this car is a Turbo LS car as well. go. All right, guys, what do we have here? Is this a Chevelle? Is this a Nova? This looks like a Chevelle SS. Yeah. We got a Mustang pulling up too. There we go, license plate, small tire. This thing sounds like it's making some jam. The beauty old Mustang he's pulling up against here too. Check that car out if you can see it. "19 cars in this field, and so far it seems like it's a pretty serious field. Some big competition. Left lane going on. Left lane going on with that Mustang. Here you go, guys. We've got Kurt Thompson, Canada's most wanted, pulling up right now. He's gonna buy. Holy shit. I understand why he might be the two-time champ. This thing sounds absolutely insane. That thing's a hot rod. All right, guys, stick shift class is here. Right now we got a Shelby GT500 in the right lane, pulling up with a C6 ZR1. As a C6Z owner, I only have a Z06 head cam car, but obviously I'm gonna choose to film in this lane right now. Chevy power, let's do it. The Shelby GT500 goes. Shelby's moving on. All right, guys, up next here in the man pedal class, we got a Ford Mustang GT pulling up, and I believe it's a Dodge Dart Swinger. I might be mistaken, but I believe this Swinger just completed Miles of Mayhem, and I believe was the second place finisher in the stick shift class there. Swinger's moving on. Little hot rod was a mile out. It rocks and rolls. Alright guys, we got the True Street class pulling up. Now, there isn't a ton of entries in this class. We have 4 entries into this class. We actually just watched this Camaro run Miles of Mayhem this past week, so me being a GM fanboy, I'm sticking in the GM lane. Let's see how it goes. I love the sound of this car too. It's got Corsa exhaust on it, and I want to say this has like a big Magnuson blower on it. Yeah, let's see it get down right now. Fortunately, the Camaro red lit, and the Mustang's moving on. Moving on, the RX-8 had starting line issues, looks like. All right, guys, we got a heavy metal class pulling up, and now this is a truck SUV class. Normally, where I'm from, I wouldn't be really interested in filming a class like this because there'd be stock Escalades and Avalanches and stuff like that. Not here, though. Here in Alberta, they have some big, nasty builds. And their truck class is going to consist of some very, very heavy competition. That S10's hauling ass and moving on. Oh, here's a real pretty truck. I was expecting a big burnout there, but then I saw slicks on all fours, so four-wheel drive, here we go. All right, guys, here we go. Silverado versus S10. Might be a big nitrous truck. Sorry, boss. Okay, we got a nitrous S10 and we got a big boosted Silverado. Holy shit! Whoa! Oh my God, did you see that? Two massive wheelies here in Central Alberta. Whoa!
So we're dealing with slight oil down right now because I just saw one of the biggest slap wheelies in my life come out of that black S10. He lifted not once but twice straight up in the air.
All right, guys, we had some cleanup issues there after that S10 went big wheels up, so the truck class is resuming again. We got Ayrton in that custom C10 over there, two-wheel drive, turbo LS, I think around 750 wheel horsepower. We got a four-wheel drive turbo LS Silverado here on the line, or Sierra might be.
Hi, I'm Lane Ollenberg, competing in No Prep 8 this weekend, gunning for that #1 spot in heavy metal.
All right, guys, we got Lane Ollenberg, Risky Habit, pulling up in his turbo LS Ford Ranger. We chatted with Lane a little earlier. He's gunning for that #1 spot. He's up against Luke McNeil with his turbo LS S10. Here we go, Risky Habit. Let's see how this goes down. Regular cab, short box, Ram Cummins diesel. Let's roll some coal.
class, 2 lanes. This is your second call, 2 lanes, Gangster class.
Alright guys, here we go. Round 2 of Unlimited is underway. There's only 6 cars in this class to start with, so we got 3 cars left. We have the Firebird pulling up with some kind of Chevy. I think that's an Chevelle SS or is that Nova? I'm so bad with my old Chevy. The other car that's in this class is a Plymouth Satellite, big block lower car. So yeah, we're gonna see how this goes right now. Big block 540 complete Pro Charge car, and he's gonna try to put Mr. Kurt Thompson on the trailer. Oh, he says no way. No way. No way he's taking his 3-time championship. Guys, what everyone's waiting for, the Gangster class. Here we go. We didn't get to see Kurt Thompson actually run beside anyone. He had a bye for round 1. Now he's up against a 540 big block Pro Charge car, so let's see how he does. I don't think it mattered though. I think Kurt had it either way. Now I try not to be biased when I'm doing lane selection. However, hometown, Manitoba, I gotta choose this lane. Possibly for both cars.
No, because it couldn't have done anything at idle. Like you didn't put a crank plot, you put a drive shaft. Yeah, it can't do anything when you're sitting there, right? The drive shaft's not moving. Yeah. It sounds like on the one part. Left bridge, yeah.
All right, guys, moving on here. We got the Little Mermaid pulling up. Another Turbo LS Fox body up against this Fox body over here. right, guys, here we go. We got one badass pass coming our way. We had one of the Miles of Mayhem fastest cars in the competition pulling up to the line against my hometown hero, Sheldon Root, out of Manitoba with his Acadian. And Sheldon knows how to do a burnout. Watch out, guys, watch out! Coming through, coming through! I think the Mustang might have saved it. Not sure. Sheldon moving on. Crews are going Russian. I'm not sure if he saved it or not. It looked like it might be minimal. Who knows? I'm not down there. Sheldon, round two, you drew Dan Jackson. Now, Dan was one of the fastest guys at Miles of Mayhem, putting down consistent passes all week. We're at no prep 8 here, small tire gangster class. You drew him. Talk to me about the run.
Well, I knew he had a very fast car, so I couldn't take him lightly. Basically, I just didn't see him. I looked beside me at the finish line, and he was about, I don't know, I think guess about 50, 60 feet behind me. But yeah, it's just unfortunate, radial tires, no prep, scramble buttons, if that's what it was. It's hard to say what happened to him, but it's just an unfortunate situation.
Absolutely. Well, either way, congratulations on your win. We'll see you in round 3, and we'll go catch up with Dan to make sure he's all right.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks, Sheldon. Oh, were you talking something that's fast? Oh, okay. Good on this side. Put your foot, somebody put their foot on the back of that ramp. Yeah. Don't lift it a bit because it is dragging on the turbo fitting. And push back. Well, guys, unfortunately, we missed the tail end of the Gangster small tire class just because we wanted to check up on that accident with that Ford Mustang. Went and chatted with Sheldon Root, and yeah, so anyways, we're going to catch obviously round 3 of that class, and we're going to catch up with Alright guys, we're up here. I believe this is round 2 for heavy metal. It's a truck category. We got a 4-wheel drive regular cab Silverado pulling up with a 2-wheel drive regular cab Silverado. Good run here, right lane. The red Silverado moving on. All right, guys, up next we got Lane Olenberg with the Turbo LS Ranger. He's our pick for number 1. Woo! So he's drawn the regular cab Ram, Cummins diesel. This Ram's no joke. This 4-wheel drive Ram absolutely hauls ass. But we're gonna see if Lane can move on here. The C10 Silverado coming up against this beauty. Here we go, guys. Is it going to be the full size or the mini size? Let's see. This S10 is incredibly clean. I personally, and I'm going to jinx myself by saying this, but I personally see Lane Olenberg with that Ranger and this S10 going to the finals. Maybe I'm wrong, But that's where my bet is. Transmission problems. The C10's moving on. Oh no, I literally just jinxed myself on that one. Well, Kurt, round 3 is coming up right away, but before we get to round 3, let's talk about round 2.
Yes.
You were beside, I believe it was that big block Chevelle, was it?
Yes, Trevor Kinsey.
Yes. Now, from my angle, yes, he red lit, but regardless, I think you had that anyways.
Oh yeah, no, I went by him like he was standing still. It was awesome.
Absolutely. Okay, so we're going round 3. Round 3 now. Who did you just chip draw now?
Chris Gould. So Chris, super fast LS Mustang. He ran his personal best in Mission a couple weeks ago. The car's fast, really fast.
It's fast, but is it Kurt Thompson fast?
I don't know if it's that fast, but it's still pretty fast, yeah.
Okay, well we're gonna find out soon.
We are.
All right guys, we're going round 3 of the small tire gangster class, and we got the Little Mermaid versus our boy, hometown hero from Manitoba, Sheldon Root, Motion Performance. We're gonna see how this goes down. The classes are obviously getting smaller. Aside from that, Kurt Thompson is still in the house. Canada's Most Wanted. He's hoping to get his 3rd win in a row. He's 2-time champ, and he doesn't want to give it to anyone else. But you know what? Let's go check out that action right now. All right, guys, here we go. We got the Little Mermaid driven by Chris Houston. Turbo LS powered Fox body. And for this run, I'm gonna stick in my lane over here with Sheldon. Woo! Man, I love a Sheldon burnout. All right, guys, here we go. Come on, Sheldon. Do this for Winnipeg, buddy. The next round. Woo! All right, guys, we got Kurt Thompson, and we have the Turbo LS Mustang pulling up right now. Here we go. Nice big smoky burnout. Canada's Most Wanted. Here we go. Showtime. Let's go. Kurt Thompson moving on. There we go. Here we go, guys. We got the Performance Plus Mustang. He has a bye into the next round. So as far as I'm concerned, he just has to break the beam and he's good to go.
You're not going anywhere.
No, I know. There we go. Broke the beam, good to go. Well, Kurt, enemy number 1 still remains at large here.
We're still going.
Round 3, you drew Chris Gould. Talk to me about that run.
Yep. You know, Chris, awesome competitor. He said he had some struggles on the line, and we got him maybe 2-3 cars right off the light, and I never saw him after that. So, you know, it was awesome. We appreciate what he did, but next one, line up, come get me, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. We're going round 4 here, semifinals,
yes.
I believe it is, with Brian from Performance Plus.
Correct.
What's your thoughts?
You know what, Brian's, again, I kind of have an idea what he's running. If we kind of keep doing what we're doing, we shouldn't have a problem. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good one.
There you go, my hometown hero, Sheldon Root from Motion Performance, has a bye to the finals.
I know. I'm a little bit worried there, a little bit only, but we'll see how we do, yeah.
Awesome, well, good luck out there. Hopefully you can stay the number 1 champ.
Absolutely, thank you very much.
Yeah. Well, guys, we just came across Brian Stevenson from Performance Plus, based out of Saskatchewan, and he's here running No Prep 8, and he's going to the semifinals against Canada's Most Wanted.
Yeah.
Brian, what do you think about that? Tell me about this run coming up. What's the plans?
What's the plan? We made sure it's a conservative tune, and so it goes straight, doesn't slip hopefully, and we're gonna tree the hell out of them. So
there you go.
That's the plan.
do you have what it takes to put Kurt on the trailer?
Hopefully it won't be Kurt's lucky day and it'll be mine.
There you go.
He's got some advantages for sure. This is relatively new, but we'll do our best.
Of course. Well, good luck out there. Hopefully you can put an end to his win streak.
Okay.
Well, Sheldon, round 3, you drew the Little Mermaid and you sent her swimming back under the seas. Talk to me about the run.
He got out on me on the hit.
Yeah.
And I was starting to catch up. I think I could see that he spun the tire, and then I just drove around him and got the win.
Awesome. So now there's 3 of you guys left. So we have Performance Plus, based out of Saskatchewan. They're one of the sponsors this year with their Mustang. And then we have Canada's Most Wanted and yourself. 3 of you guys left. I believe you just pulled the lucky chip, didn't you?
Yeah, the other 2 guys have a bye, so I get the bye into the final.
There you go. Bye to the final. Our hometown hero, Sheldon Root, going all the way. All right, guys, we got semifinal of the Gangster class. We got Kurt Thompson, and we have Brian Stevenson from Performance Plus out of Saskatchewan. Sheldon Root's got the bye, and let's get this. Final. He was sleeping on the line. Canada's Most Wanted still remains at large. How? How is that possible?
Talk about making it interesting. Oh my God.
Here we go, guys. Sheldon Root making his bypass to the finals. Well, guys, it's been a long day here at Central Alberta Raceway, but the finals are finally here. So we're going to see who's the best of the best here. Who's the no prep king of Western Canada? We have our hometown hero, Sheldon Root, going up against Kurt Thompson. We have our buddy over from Risky Habits there, the Ranger in the finals here, up against Ayrton. So Risky Habits is driven by Lane Olenberg, and he's going up against the Turbo LS C10, who's driven by Ayrton. There's still the unlimited class that's got to run. We're going to capture all the action right now. Well, guys, here we go. True Street Finals. We have the Dodge Scat Pack up against the Mustang GT. This Scat Pack's making around 1,200 horsepower, and we're going to see who's taking home the hardware today. Told us they were turning the boards on for the finals here, so that's why we're getting to see some times right now. Once again, boards are on, so we're going to see some times here, and let's see how they go. Ford Roadster 551, 133 mile an hour, taking home that win. All right, guys, heavy metal is stepping into the ring. We have Lane Olenberg with his LS Turbo Power Ford Ranger, and Ayrton with his 78 C10 LS Turbo. Now Lane is also the Miles of Mayhem first place champion, and he's the crowd favorite right now. He was our pick number 1 to win this thing, so let's see if he does it. I will say Ayrton has one heck of a battle in front of him here. Lane Oldenburg ran Pro Street class in Miles of Mayhem and was consistent 580s in the 8th. So let's see if he can trigger that 580 on the board right now. Tires lifting out of it, still taking home that W. All right, guys, unlimited finals are here. We got the Firebird right up here in a Plymouth Satellite big block, big blower car. Let's see how this goes down. All right, guys, unlimited finals, here we go. And the Firebird crossing the line, 549, 120 mile an hour, 545. There you go, winning that money. All right, guys, the moment we've all been waiting for. We got the Gangster tire, small tire class coming up right now. We got Canada's most wanted, Mr. Kurt Thompson, up against Sheldon Root, my hometown hero from Winnipeg, Manitoba. This is going to be one heck of a run. Smoky burnout. Got to clear that car out. Here we go. Here we go. Manitoba to the front, mother. Give us that money! Give us that money! All right, guys, we got Sheldon Root, our hometown hero from Manitoba, triggering the win light against Canada's most wanted. Take me through the run.
Well, he's won the last 2 years, so I just had to cut a light and run a good pass, the best pass of the day, and that's what we did. It was our fastest pass, the best lay of the day, and we took the champ out.
You took the champ out, and you're taking the cash,
that's right.
You're taking the bounty, you're getting it all, bringing it back home to Manitoba.
Back to Manitoba.
Congratulations, man, on the run. It was so awesome. It was literally electrifying being up there, probably because of me too. But it was wild to see that run. So congratulations on your win today.
Really appreciate it.
Well, Kurt, you went all the way to the finals, but here's the facts, okay?
Yes.
Somebody placed a bounty on your head.
Yes.
It was gonna bring out all the heavy hitters across Western Canada.
Correct.
We had a 20-car, small tire, Gangster field of the fastest guys on the planet coming to gun for you.
Yes. It was unbelievable. And you know what? I really appreciate everyone coming from, as far as Ontario. We actually had a car from Ontario You know, a bunch of guys from Saskatchewan, Manitoba, BC. It was unbelievable, right? So the turnout was incredible, and you know what? We did our best. We did what we could do. The car stumbled a bit. We had a little problem with the tune, and it looks like it cost us the race.
Absolutely. So our Manitoba hometown hero, sorry,
Yeah.
I got to mention
Yeah.
that again, being from Winnipeg. He came and he cashed in that bounty.
Absolutely. Sheldon did amazing. I watched it, you know, from my perspective, it was unbelievable. He got a car out. I watched him stay a car out on me the whole way. There was nothing I could do. And great. It was awesome. Good for him.
Absolutely. Now, I'm assuming you're going to be back next year.
Absolutely.
To come back and claim that championship.
We'll be back next year, bigger, better, badder. Oh, man, it's going to be incredible.
Absolutely, man. Well, hey, thanks so much for taking the time to chat with us.
You bet.
We love following your story, and you got one badass ride.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
See ya.